My father stood in the Miami-Dade courtroom like he owned the air itself. He didn't look at the judge. He looked at me, cold as ice. He said, his voice sharp enough to cut skin, "Those Key Biscayne houses belong to us. She doesn't deserve a single cent." Beside him, my stepmother Celeste nodded slowly, her polished smile calm and cruel. She wore white, like innocence could be stitched into fabric, and Blaine, my half-brother, real estate attorney, golden child, fraud in $1,000 suit. He smirked like the verdict had already been signed, like I had already lost. The courtroom smelled faintly of paper and polished wood. The quiet was heavy, expectant. Judge Harold Vance lifted the thick envelope I had submitted. He opened it, read, paused, and then he laughed. Not a warm laugh, not amused. A short, metallic laugh, like something breaking. "Well," he said, his eyes locked on them, not me. "So, you people truly don't know anything at all." The air changed instantly. Blaine's smirk collapsed. Celeste's fingers tightened on the rail until her knuckles went white. My father's jaw clenched so hard, I thought his teeth might crack, and for the first time in months, I could breathe. "My name is Avery Hall. I used to fly Coast Guard rescue helicopters. Now I run a luxury yacht charter company out of Miami. I've pulled strangers out of storms, out of sinking wrecks, out of death itself, but nothing prepared me for the moment my own family tried to erase me because the judge's laugh, that wasn't the beginning. That was the moment the lies started dying. The real beginning was a phone vibrating in my pocket like a warning flare. The sun was melting into the ocean, painting Biscayne Bay gold and orange. I was steering an 80-foot Sunseeker through calm water. Rich clients laughing behind me, champagne glasses clinking. My phone rang once. I ignored it. Twice. Ignored it again. By the fifth call, something inside me turned cold. I stepped into the cabin and answered. "Miss Hall," a voice said. "Yes." A pause. "I'm calling from Jackson Memorial Hospital. Your grandmother, Odette Hall, suffered a massive stroke this morning." Silence. She didn't make it. The world didn't shatter. It just stopped. I cut the charter short. I drove south like speed could reverse death. 4 hours later, salt stiff on my skin, exhaustion clawing at my bones, I tied up at our private dock. The villa stood ahead, silent, dark, waiting. The funeral was already over. They buried her without me. On the terrace, my father stood with a drink in his hand. Grant Hall. He didn't hug me, didn't comfort me. He lifted his glass slightly, like we were strangers at a charity gala. "You're late," he said. Celeste leaned in and air kissed my cheek. "Everything's been taken care of," she said sweetly. "The will, the properties, the paperwork." Blaine arrived moments later. Perfect hair, perfect suit, perfect lie. "Grandma signed a durable power of attorney," he said casually. "Protects the houses." "Show me," I said. He smiled. "Trust me. Legal is what I do." That was the moment I knew something was wrong. The next morning, I went to one of Odette's houses. They were already there, waiting, prepared. Blaine slid the document across the table. Her signature looked perfect, too perfect. No tremor, no weakness, no humanity. My grandmother's hands had trembled for years. That signature belonged to someone else. They forced me out before I could question more. Security guards escorted me like I was the intruder. In my grandmother's life. In my grandmother's legacy. But they made one mistake. They underestimated me. That night, I went to her fifth house, the one nobody visited, the one that still smelled like cedar in memory. And that's when Cal Dempsey appeared. Her tenant. Her friend. He handed me a USB drive. "She told me to give this only to you," he whispered. My hands shook as I plugged it into my laptop. Her voice filled the room. Weak, but clear. "Avery," she said, "after May, I sign nothing. My heart stopped. They forged it, she said. Blaine and Celeste, they think I don't know. She knew. She knew everything. And she left the truth behind. For me. I took that recording to attorney Marina Reyes. She listened once, then slid the real trust toward me, executed weeks before the stroke. My name was everywhere. Sole beneficiary. Everything was mine. Everything they tried to steal. 2 days later, we stood in court. They called me ungrateful, selfish, cold. They thought they'd already won until the judge opened that envelope. Until he heard her voice, until he saw the truth. His laugh echoed like justice waking up. He voided the fraud, restored every property, and referred the case to prosecutors. Outside the courtroom, my father couldn't look at me. Celeste's perfect smile was gone. Blaine looked small, fragile, human. For the first time since that phone call, my lungs filled completely, because sometimes the greatest betrayal doesn't come from strangers. It comes from the people who share your blood, but sometimes the truth doesn't whisper. Sometimes it waits for the perfect moment to destroy every lie.